we battle at the paperclip as Mystic Racing League looks to survive the tight confines of Martinsville. This evening, it's the 6th race of the 2025 season for MRL. Good evening and welcome to iRacing's virtual Martinsville Speedway for Boeing TV's coverage of the MRL. I'm Justin Prince, alongside the booth for tonight's Brennan Edstrom, with DJ Line producing using cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. Tonight, it's the paperclip on the docket here, Brandon, and that means some short track racing. It's going to be our second short track race of the season. 5 different winners in 5 races, a part of the storylines.
Yeah, could we see a 6-1 tonight? It's going to be very fun to watch. You know, this track is really important to get straight in, straight off of. We've seen a lot of spinners in practice. 200 laps tonight. I look forward to sitting alongside you and watching it, JP.
It's going to be very interesting to see how these drivers fare out here at the paperclip. Looking at the point standings coming into tonight, Adam Holston, overall-wise, has the points lead over Evan Janik. Bobby Rafferty put on a stellar performance last week. He's in third, with Andrew Allen and Alex Polk amongst the top 5 drivers in the standings. 3 of the top 5 as well are FSR drivers. And mind you, a lot of those drivers top of the board for the overall points, still looking for their first wins, Brandon.
Yeah, still looking for their first wins, but there's one guy I want to talk about who's 1 point below the cut line right now. That's the 23 machine of Rayshawn Wingfield. He's going to be looking for a strong performance tonight. I spoke with a couple of the FSR guys before tonight's coverage, so as we get into the race, we'll go on talk about their weaks and strengths. But so far, 5 races, 5 different winners, JP. It's looking to be a good season.
It's been a great season so far of the MRL. Remember, tonight's action brought to you in part by several partners, including THD Designs. Tonight also brought to you in part by Wade Cycles. Founded in 2021 to rebuild and modify motorcycles into baggers, they thrive on making customers happy and spread their name so they can continue to grow. Used to be based out of Columbus, Indiana, but now based out of New Market, Tennessee. Offering stereo system suspension work, body part modifications, and more. Contact them at 812-345-2876 or 812-341-0764 for your needs. Tonight also brought to you by Sofa News, dedicated to being your go-to source for engaging, thought-provoking stories for the Mystic Racing League. Again, for more information, be sure to follow along with the news through Sofa News for the Mystic Racing League. Let's take a chance to take a listen to tonight's national anthem. Please rise for tonight's playing of the national anthem. Welcome back to the paperclip as we are less than a minute away from the end of the qualifying session. 24 entries on the list for tonight, Brandon. These drivers ready to see if they can battle here at the paperclip. What are you keeping an eye on for tonight for these cup cars?
Yeah, for these Cup cars, it's really important, like I said earlier, to get straight in and straight off. We've seen a lot of spinners coming off of 2 and 4, solo cars, no contact. These cars have a lot of power coming up off the turns, and there's a big bump coming off of 2. So in that transition banking, you really want to make sure that you're easy on power. The difference in these cars between 95% and 100% throttle is huge, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that. As well, 50% fuel and 4 sets of tires, so those are 2 more things to keep an eye on.
Touched upon that more as time progresses, that these drivers are just about set to transition out of the qualifying session and to the starting grid in a few moments or so. Tonight's qualifying spread 0.7 of a second once the 23 drivers who set times in the qualifying session. Let's see how they'll start tonight. On the pole tonight is Jacob Cochran by 8/1000ths over Evan Janik. Row number 2, that's going to feature Rayshawn Wingfield, a different look tonight, alongside Alex Pollock. Row number 3, Isaac Brock will drive his 21 machine to the inside, alongside Andrew Allen. Row number 4 features Brendan Woolard. In the number 12, Joshua Thornton will start in 8th. Another driver we haven't seen much of so far this season, bring out the knee paint scheme. It's Kobe Luca, alongside Robert McKay to round out your top 10.
Yeah, and then number 69 machine, we have Andrew Shobe with the Wendy's paint scheme on that Toyota Camry. And on his outside, the 93 machine of Isaac Wilson. And then starting 13th, you got the 08 car of David Wallace. To his outside, the 27 of Christian Barnes. Starting 15th tonight, that's the 34 machine of John Ullman for Slim Chickens in that Chevrolet Camaro. And to his outside, throwing homage to AJ Allmendinger, Aaron Espy. Zach White starts P17 in that number 77 PCHA Designs Ford Mustang. To his outside, the 47 machine of David Moyer. And then rounding out your top 20, the 10 car of Josh Gillen and the 8 machine of Adam Holston.
21st spot going the way of Brett Wren. Reggie Kime will start in 22nd in the Batman paint scheme. Aubrey Lord, last driver to set a qualifying time, while Caleb Hunt will start towards the tail. He did not set a lap time. Of note, one our driver picked up an EOL, Joshua Gillen, will start at the back as well for today. So the drivers now rolling for 3 pace laps to get themselves geared up. Race analysis is touched upon by Brandon. 200 laps your race distance, your stages, laps 55 and 110. 4 tire sets are available for tonight in the pit lane. 50% fuel in this fixed setup race. And what are your keys to a good race here tonight, Brandon, as we get geared up to go racing?
Keys to a good race are just keep that car underneath you. Any type of looseness into the corner, coming out of the corner can really upset you. 50% fuel, so normally you don't have to keep an eye on that fuel gauge, but tonight you're going to have to keep an eye on it with only half the tank filled up. And the accordion effect, it's huge here. Getting into turn 3, getting into turn 1, watch where the guy in front of you is braking and make sure that you don't beat the hell out of his rear bumper on entry.
Who are you picking as your favorite here tonight? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but who are you watching for tonight?
Well, I spoke with Kobe Luca before the race, the 17-year-old from the small state that I'm from, Vermont. Kid just recently got into racing, but he thinks that he can finish in the top 5 here tonight, maybe even to win the race. Felt like tires were going to be a big concern heading into tonight's race, longevity, all that good stuff, but he brought up shifting tactics. Everyone has a different way that they get around this paperclip, so we'll have to keep an eye on the shifting tonight.
Happy with us here on Bowling TV for coverage of the Mystic Racing League. It's just about time to go racing from the paperclip. Jacob Cochran, Evan Janik on the front row. Heading to the start zone, coming down the front straightaway. Green flag is out. We're underway from Martinsville.
2x2 as they make their way into turn 1, even all the way around. One thing that we'll also have to pay attention to is fixed setup in this league. So there's no advantage on setup. It's all driver skill here tonight as they're battling for P1 going into turn 3.
Evan Janik having a great start from the outside, makes the move and takes the race lead away. So the 71 leads the first lap out of 55 for stage 1. and it should be a rush to the bottom for most of this field here. You'd have to think, especially with it being the paperclip, you do not want to be stuck up top in theory.
No, absolutely not. You see the inside line already starting to wash up. These brakes, they're cold, the tires are cold, everything's starting to get warmed up, but you can see some of the drivers not all the way around on the bottom of that red and white curb. Some of them are washing up as we see cars on the wall coming up off of 2.
Couple different drivers have slopes. Wilson was among those back in the back of the field. Front of the field, things gain single file now as drivers try and get a rhythm, a bit of a punt. Andrew Allen deep on the brakes, hitting the back end of Pollock. That cost him a couple spots for the 96.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. The accordion effect. The car in front of him broke a little early, and then it just stacks up from there. And early on in the race, that's going to be a big key. Normally, at COTA, like we were last week, you don't want to pay attention to where the guy in front of you is braking. You just don't. You have your own braking point. But here, it's so important to pay attention to the car in front of you, so that way you don't have that accordion effect and either spin someone or get yourself turned in the process.
Oh, trouble front straightaway. We have a spinner in the wall. Joshua Thornton just hit the inside wall. No caution. We stay green as the 29 has damage.
Yep, and that's part of the point that we were making earlier is we have a spinner in turn 2 up against the wall.
No caution. We stay green. As you see the replay, what happened to the 29 drivers are bobbling and spinning out here. A couple drivers having issues.
Yeah, caution is out on the racetrack. We have 2 cars sitting on the back straightaway sideways. Almost made contact. And we have another driver around up top of turn 2 as well.
Joshua Gillen was the one who just spun around and got slammed into under the spinning condition by Isaac Brock. So a lot of people having some troubles here as the pit road is open after incidents.
Yeah, and I believe the one car of, Josh Gillen, the one car that was spun around on the back straightaway still, he did not beat the pace car out, and he will be trapped 1 lap down. You hate to see it so early on, especially when we're only on lap 6, but that point's going to keep coming up more and more again tonight. Off of 2, off of 4, it's treacherous. There's not a lot of banking here at Martinsville, but with how much power these cars have, getting on the gas too early or too hard can cause that rear end to come around.
So again, under caution, Isaac Brock, Zach White, both significantly damaged here at the paperclip. As we are currently under yell with Evan Janik, Jacob Cochran, Rayshawn Winkfield, Alex Pollock, the top 4, Alan, Luca, Shob, Willard, Barnes, Uman, amongst your top 10. And we've already seen how difficult it may be to try and make a pass here tonight, Brandon. It's going to be about getting that track position.
Yeah, track position's going to be huge. I'm looking at Josh Gillen coming down pit road right now. His right front is killed. Toe links all bent, but it looks like he is going to get a fast repair and head on back out in the pit stall for about a total of a second. But absolutely, JP, you hit the nail on the head. Just like in real life, this track is going to be really hard to pass at. And not only do you have to be careful of the accordion effect, but you're going to have to use that bumper too. So it's almost like a conundrum. You don't know what to do. You want to make sure you don't accordion, but at the same time, when someone accordions, it's going to be your opportunity to use your chrome horn to move them out of the way.
Yeah, and these cars can take a bit of a beating. We apologize for technical difficulties as we are currently under caution on the racetrack at the moment. Keeping an eye on things. If necessary, we'll move to radio call to be able to start things off as we're at the 1-to-go signal on the racetrack. Isaac Brock still fixing meatball flag damage. Zach White has yet to come out of pit road, just exited pit road as well. It's Janik. It's Winkfield on the front row with the shoes. Cochran chose the bottom. Alex Pollock also chose the bottom. The next on the high side would be Andrew Allen. They make their way out of 3 and 4 this time, coming up to the restart zone. In control of the 71. So we join in with the pictures. Green flag, back underway.
Evan Janik with a huge start on that inside. Keep an eye on that 23 car of Rayshawn Winkfield as well. 1 point underneath the cut line. Contact between the 84. That's going to be Jacob Cochran and Andrew Allen making contact coming up out of 2, but we stay green. Everything's all right. Evan Janik in the 71 machine. He's already out to about a 6-car length lead going into turn 1.
Allen lost a lot of time running that high line. Near contact on the diamond line attempt by Cochran. It's a couple drivers try and get grouped up and together. Christian Barnes backing up his corners. There's Kobe Luca also in this grouping too, trying to get lined up astern. So these drivers at this point gonna need to be a bit brave on the sends as talked about. It looks like for some, it's the matter of staying in that groove. If you move up the track, you're like Pollock, you lose time, or you open up the door like Shope here.
Yeah, you can already see that some of them are half a lane up. You really don't want to be there. You really want to hug that bottom as we look at the 69 machine on the inside of Kobe Luca. Oh, big contact. The 27 hard into the wall. The 5 machine and the 69 make contact. That's going to bring out a caution.
Caution flags out for the second time tonight in 15 laps. Now let's take a look at the replay as that was a lot of contact there. Christian Barnes, a meatball flag.
I don't know what happened, but going into turn 3, Colby's up the track a little bit. 69 gives him a little bit of the hit on the left rear quarter panel coming down the straightaway. And it seems like Colby just kind of gets to his right rear quarter panel. May have upset the 69 a little bit, messed up his braking point, and all hell broke loose after that.
Very chaotic, to say the very least, right there. You've seen the 5 already locking up their tires the corner beforehand. But things boiled over right about here, or the next set, you should say, with how much the 5 was trying to diamond down initially.
Yeah, and with only 4 sets of tires, you really don't want to be spinning out like this early on, or even really locking up your left front. That's about a set every 50 laps, and you really don't want to do that. With the new tire model, I don't know how everything works. Haven't had a chance to get into the car yet, but I have heard from drivers in other leagues in different places that the new tire model has been messing with them a lot. No one from the lead pack's going to come down pit road this time as it looks, but we'll have to keep an eye on the lockups, how they're driving it, and all these spins that we've had so far. Lap 17.
EOL car 5, cause of caution. So that's the situation there. We've also got the lucky dog already getting waved around in that sequence, it looks like, that time around. That included Joshua Gillen, who has already fallen from 1 down, now back to the lead lap. So things are looking good if you're the 71, to say the very least, though. Taking that start from the outside to be able to lead early on, and since then has controlled things early here in the first stage and looks comfortable up front.
Yeah, I spoke with Evan earlier on tonight. Won the Xfinity race last night, and he said he would love to go back-to-back. If he wins tonight, he guarantees that that would give him the point lead. If not, he's just really looking forward to squeeze out a top 5. But so far, the 71 machine looking very strong. Pulls out to an early lead often, and that's the advantage that you have as the leader in the restart zone. You get an absolute launch.
So the field is getting all set to go for the restart at the moment in live action. Janik, Winkfield, Cochran, and Allen are your front row. Pollock, and then Thornton, Ward and Uman. Wilson wants the top 10. As we have a delayed yellow, it looks like they've delayed the restart here after some confusion after the choose. As there's a look at Barnes still getting damage repairs done. He's already lost 3 laps as a result of this situation, so he'll at least maintain that with this caution coming for another pace lap.
Yeah, and if he stays 3 down, you can't beat yourself down this early on. It's Martinsville, it's iRacing. We're gonna see more cautions at some point. At this point, it's just keeping your nose clean and making sure that you don't get a 0x, even slight contacts. That way you can get the lucky dog.
Coming up to start lap 21. Janik and Winkfield side by side, heading to the restart zone. Winkfield trying to time it up. Winkfield getting pushed ahead of the 71 of the restart zone. Janik still gets the better launch as Winkfield tries to keep himself in second. Cochran gets a better run. A couple people are spun around in the corner. We keep it green as Isaac Wilson was able to pluck it out of the wall.
Wingfield tried to do the right thing going into turn 3 and let the faster car of Jacob Cochran by, but he got an absolute shot from the 92 machine of Alex Pollock, and he's going to get one again as the 23 car. I would not be too happy so early on. We've seen the wrecks, we've seen the contact, the chrome horn being used early on here. Martinsville, as he's going to get hit again going into turn 3 and get turned around.
Trying to turn down and now turns into the pack. Caution flag is out again. And hard hits for Willard and a couple more drivers. Wingfield right in the heart of it as well.
Yeah, it all started back when that 23 decided to let Jacob Cochran in the line and then just proceeded to get absolutely bullied out of the way by everybody. As we're taking a look of him coming off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Again, that accordion effect comes into play, was paying attention to the guy in front of him. 29 sent it in, got into his left rear, and then bam, contact multiple cars, and then another car comes flying in right here, gets the 12. Man, not good early on for these drivers.
Wingfield's going to have to spend some time in pit road. There is one faster pair available for tonight. Drivers are losing lots of time in pit road. Isaac Brock just parked it. This is Aubrey Lord trying to go around the outside on the bobbles. And the door, unfortunately, was slammed shut.
Yeah, and that's one of those things on the racetrack. It's kind of like Dover, but you have walls on both sides, and if one or two cars get spun around, if you have your quality up high enough on your PC, you're just going to see nothing but a smoke cloud. And as a driver, it is one of the most terrifying things. JP, you saw it multiple times in SSRL. On tracks like this, it's just when you wreck, you have nowhere to go. And then if there's a car beside you and you make a sudden move, and you're going to hit them, and then it's just going to create a junkyard on the straightaway. And at that point, it's just best to stop the car. Who cares if you lose positions or even go a lap down to the pace car? You just got to keep your nose clean.
Take a look at Alex Pollock. Still has the heart monitor kept up for tonight. A little bit of a higher tempo so far in this race. Looks to have also gone for the black matted backdrop instead of his normal backdrop for this evening. Trying to keep calm at least. Once one of the drivers in the top 10, now up to third spot.
Yeah, looking at 117, 111 heart rate right now. He was 104 before the race, so even before the race, he was a little jacked up, ready to go. But I spoke with a 92 machine earlier, and he said Five-Star Racing Team looks to just keep momentum from 2 podiums and a win last night in the Xfinity Series. He looks to keep building off of a 3rd place finish last night and a great run. FSR made up of the 8 car, the 24 of Brett Rinn, the 69 of Andrew Shove, Evan Janik in the 71, Jared Kopp-Snyder in the 82, and Alex Pollock in the 92. So all those guys in FSR are just looking for a solid finish here tonight.
Here's this time by as most of the field electing to stay to the bottom. Joshua Thornton was the first one to take the top line out of those lined up for the restart here. We've already seen him slide into the inside wall once already coming off of turn 4. Tires starting to put some laps on him, but the highest running of those who have pit so far is Adam Holston, who is in 7th position. Half the field has pit at least once so far. Restart, green, back it away, 71 takes it away.
And the 71 does such a good job every single time getting a jump. That's what you need here at Martinsville. Clean air is huge, even at a short track like this. The handling in the center of the corners with that car in front of you can affect your braking, affect your speed, and all that good stuff. 71 machine leads another lap here at Martinsville.
Cal Ponders picked up 18 spots this race. Now in the picture, contact. Allen gets the crowbar out as he tries to pluck Pollock off the bottom. Now turns Pollock into the wall.
Yeah, and you hate to see that coming up off of 2. That's another thing that you got to be careful about. When you're coming up, you want to try to get as close to that wall as possible, but you have a tighter turn radius when you're on the bottom like that, and it just shows a perfect example. He wasn't ready for the car to be on his outside.
Yeah, taking our look. Allen showed the nose on the Sen. Hit him at the door, then coming off the corner exit, washed up the track.
Yeah, you hate to see it. The 92 car's probably a little frustrated, but we stay green. He's just got to keep his head up. That's the thing about Martinsville. It's a place known for frustrations, and they're going to show here tonight, especially with 200 laps and a few cautions early on. But it looks like the 71 machine has built up a good lead. The top 3 really have pulled away. Janik, Thornton, Cochran, Hunt, and Coleman round out the top 5.
In the 19-second bracket right now, the leaders currently as they run. 19.5 last time for Cochran, 19.7s for this gaggle of cars. Amongst those also moving ahead is Ullman so far, the 78 and 34. Amongst some of your biggest movers in this race.
Yeah, the 34 machine started 15th. He's already up to 5th, looking for more. He has a little bit of damage on that splitter, so it's frowning a little bit, but that shouldn't be too much here at Martinsville. It's not gonna affect the handling or anything like that. Even at Coda last week, some damage like that wouldn't bother you. But once we start getting to these bigger tracks again, something like that you'd want to come down pit road for. But the 34 machine still going strong as we go down into turn 1.
Still keeping an eye on some of the battles, including that battle for second. Cochran, like to choose the bottom, sacrifice second. Hasn't been able to build up the run to get back alongside the 29 so far. If anything, starting to fade a little bit as now we start to reach the mid-run, so to speak, on green flag laps here.
Yeah, and that 84 machine of Cochran, he really wants to be careful coming up off that corner. That's about the second or third time that we've seen him get to the wall. Eventually, that toe link will break, and that's the last thing that you want here at Martinsville. That's going to spell disaster for locking in on entry, no turn, tight center, and you're going to be so tight center that you're going to be oversteering, and then you're going to be absolutely miserable off the corner and dead loose. So we'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the race. Matter of fact, spinner right in front of him. That's Alex Pollock in the 92.
No caution, we stay green. Huge block for Thornton. Just about sawed the front nose off the 84, trying to block as the caution flag waves. We're under yellow.
Yep, Alex Pollock in that 92 still around on the front straightaway. I thought for a split second he was going to pull up in front of the leader of Evan Janik, but decided not. He's just going to sit there and stay a lap down as we look at the replay.
That was sloppy. He was running on the inside curb and spun it out. He had spun it out already after contact with 12.
Yeah, 92 car not having a good night so far. But like I said earlier, JP, it's just one of those things. We've had a few cautions so far. We're only 38 laps into this race out of 200. Simple mistakes like that, you just got to throw them in the trash, get them out of your mind, and move on. Get your laps back. Be patient. Make smart moves. Don't overdrive the car. When you drive mad, you will make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you'll get even more mad. And after that, I don't even want to drive the car at that point.
Take a quick step aside. More coverage coming up. You're watching MRL for Martinsville.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Bowling TV as we continue on with tonight's action here from the paperclip. Choose this time by is the 71, 23, 84, 78, 34. Amongst your top five, Andrew Allen was the second to choose the top line here. Will gain a couple spots for the restart. Justin Prince, Brandon Edstrom alongside with DJ Lyon producing tonight. An interesting one so far tonight, Brandon. A domination station for car 71.
Yeah, absolutely. Akron, New York native. He'll be racing in the street stock at Lancaster Motorsports Clec in New York this year. So no wonder he's good at the short tracks as we're coming back to green, JP.
Back to the restart zone. Janik has controlled it so far. Thornton tried to jump it, and he checks up hard on the outside. Thornton able to hold on for a battle for the time being against Cochran, but for how long is the question?
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that 84 and that 29 machine. Lots of contact in the previous green flag run. Maybe they've decided to settle down this time. 2x2 throughout some of the pack. We have another car turning off at turn 4. No caution as of right now. And there it is, lap 43 of 200, another caution.
Back under yellow as Willard not having a good night. Just had a crash with Lord under yellow. And we'll have to take a look here as there are several people already slamming into the walls.
Yeah, oh boy, you hate to see that. It just looks like they were slow, maybe checking up for an incident in front of them. But it looks like they all just got stacked up together. Another classic Martinsville incident. We see it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when they come here. We've seen it in the mods. We see it in iRacing. And it maybe looks like the 23 maybe either got loose into the corner or sent. We'll have to take another look at it to get a little bit of info before then. But it looks like he just cut across the nose of the 12.
Yeah, Wingfield getting turned around. There was contact under caution involving the leader. Evan Janik has to come in. He ended up hitting the side of the 12 as the field was coming around.
Oh yeah, that right front toe link is destroyed. You can see it. It's pointed out to about, I don't know, 45-degree angle out there to the right. Gonna take a look at it. Coming down the front straightaway. Oh, and the 12 backs into him. Jumps it like a curb, and that right front is killed. But like you said earlier, Justin, one fast repair, and he's so fast he'll be able to drive his way through the field. But something we keep talking about is patience. You need a lot of it here in the 71 car. Seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, so he'll be able to come back up through the field pretty easily.
EOL for the 12 for obvious reasons with the caution there. So that's going to put Jacob Cochran, your pole sitter, back in control, and he has been riding top 3 much of this race here. So we'll have to see how he handles things with the clean air. It opens the door for a couple other drivers to be able to take good stage points for the top 5.
Yeah, Caleb Hunt started 24th all the way up to 3rd. We'll have to keep an eye on him on the restart as well. Maybe he'll get a good restart and give a shot to that 84. Maybe send him up the track into the 29. We've seen them make contact before. Will they do it again? Matter of fact, the 84 machine now coming down pit road.
So he will end up coming in rather than staying out. Some interesting moments for these drivers. As you see, Caleb Hunt is steering right now on the right side of your screen. Just staying calm as we get all sorted here for a restart coming up.
Yeah, interesting driving stance. He's way above the wheel. Normally for me, I like sitting below the wheel. I like lining up the wheel with the iRacing wheel just to get an aspect of where I'm at. So it just goes to show all sorts of different personalities, all sorts of different setups here on iRacing.
Apologize for the quick technical difficulties as we get resorted here. Cochran has parked it for the night. So he is done after being the race leader. Less than 10 to go on the stage. Radio style for this restart. Thornton hits the gas. Green, green, green. The green and black machines of Thornton and Allen move 1 and 2. Caleb Hunt losing all the spots. Lets everybody by from the inside.
Side by side down the back straight as we go. The 78 trying to get to the outside of the 34. Can't quite get there. Almost into the back bumper of the 93. Now the 8 and the 78 are side by side as we go into turn 1. Your leader still Joshua Thornton. Heavy pressure from the 96 car of Andrew Allen as they come up off of 2.
Spinner out of turn 2. Holston spins down to the pack. Collects Schob as Schob slams into his door. They stop down the back straight away. No caution yet as we stay green. So top 10 try and battle it out. Field trying to get rolling as Holston able to get rolling down the back straightaway. Thornton leads them down, sent back into turn 3. Out on the send.
Sean Wakefield sitting back there in P4, already back up here after getting spun earlier in the race. The 93 of Isaac Wilson, he's trying to make it up. Looking to the inside now is Andrew Allen on the 29 as they go down into turn 1. Coming up off of turn 2, the 29 tries the crossover. Not enough. New leader, Andrew Allen.
Through 3 and 4, they go this time. Less than 5 laps to go on the stage. Allen now in control. The top 2 checking out. Right now trying to battle back as Thornton as he tries to back up the corners. Allen pushes hard coming down the back straightaway. Andrew Allen running away so far to end the stage.
No pressure for the top two. They have a whole corner lead over Isaac Wilson and Rayshawn Winkfield behind them. Here comes Andrew Allen and Joshua Thornton down the front straightaway, going into turn one. 2-car length lead for the 96 as they come up off of two. The 29's trying to dig to get it, but it just looks like Andrew Allen has more speed.
Oh, that's wow. Coming to 2 laps to go in 3 and 4. Wakefield, long side of the inside, makes the dive on the blue and red 93 of Wilson. Wilson crosses him over, goes back deep into the corner, pushes Wakefield up the racetrack as they go back and forth, coming to the white flag on the stage.
96 has a lap car in front of him, but no worries. He already has a 6-car length lead over the 29. I wonder if he has damage. White flag in the stage. Here is Martinsville.
Final lap in stage 1. Back straight away for Andrew Allen. He'll close things up with a solid gap over the rest of the pack. Green and white checkered comes out. It's the 96, Andrew Allen, who wins stage 1. Josh Thornton second. Wilson holds off Winkfield of the line. Brett Redden drives his way to the top 5 to end stage 1.
And only top 5 get stage points, but Evan Janik drove his way back to 6 after a broken toe link. Robert McKay 7th, Caleb Hunt 8, John Ullman 9th, and rounding out your top 10 was Aaron Espy. But again, only the top 5 get stage points.
So the field gets regrouped and gets caught up here for the pace car. 17 cars still on the lead lap in this race. Evan Janik, by the way, was able to drive his way back up to 6 as it's time for a pit party.
Yep, all coming down pit road here. The 8 car is going to stay out as he's a lap down. And it's going to be pretty simple here. 4 tires, fill it up. If you have any damage that you don't want to use your fast repair for, get it fixed now. And while you can, because you're going to have to save that fast repair for later with these boys out there racing each other here tonight.
You see 4 tires from the field, by the way. As expected, up into the jacks goes just about everybody for their scheduled pit stops here for the end of the stage. For those wondering, for Evan Janik, he did stay out on the racetrack since he just came into pit before. So, race up pit road. Allen able to come away, but Winkfield was able to beat them all. Winkfield had a 10-second pit stop, so he ended up, looks like, taking 2 tires to be able to jump ahead of those who took 4.
Yeah, Robert McKay came down pit road P8 in that invincible Chevrolet Camaro, but he wasn't invincible getting into his pit stall. Had to back up 2 or 3 times just to get the thing straight in the pit stall. But I don't think that should hurt him too much. He's pretty fast here tonight. But coming into the pit stall, when you have a mistake like that, it can be frustrating, and it's a common theme here, Justin. You just got to stay calm. Do not let those frustrations end your race. Keep driving the car. He'll get back up there.
Field currently paces around the paperclip. Holston coming in this time by. Aaron Espy, by the way, who pit 21 laps ago under a caution flag, is now up to second. They are choosing in live action at the moment as they prepare for the restart in this situation. So again, to regroup, it's Janik now up front with Espy on older tires. Then it's Winkfield on 2 alongside Andrew Allen. Isaac Wilson alongside Kobe Luca. And then it's John Ullman and Robert McKay. The top 10 grid slots as you see them line up. About 50 laps to battle in stage 2. They burned 5 of those laps under the caution flag for the 55 scheduled in stage 2. We race to lap 110 now. Green flag is out, back it away.
Here we go, Janik with another great restart, just like he did before. Side by side for second. The 16 car is going to let the 23 go. Winkfield, he's showing some speed tonight. He's outside the cut. He wants to get back in. Spinner off of 2. Big contact. Kobe Lucas around.
2 different spinners back there with a lot of people squished into the wall. And we're back on our yellow once again as more drivers having problems off the restarts.
Yeah, it looks like the 34 machine just gets into the left rear of the 5. He has nowhere to go. Those walls being so close together, whether he holds the brake or throttles it back up to try to save it or not, it's about going left or right. And the car behind him chose the wrong lane, ended up making contact with him. But the 5 car looks okay. Taking another look at it, 34 gets into the left rear, beats it up a little bit, and as the 5 cars around, 78 had nowhere to go. And then there's a few cars behind them as well. The 9 machine, the 47, the 10, the 72. My lord, a bunch of cars all involved in this one.
Yeah, Gillen, take a look at him on replay. Went way up the track, said, I'm going to try and avoid it by running up high. Able to at least lock it up on the brakes without contact until Pollock comes right on in.
Yeah, Pollock came in. I think he might have missed the corner. He was straight lining it, might have locked up the brakes and had nowhere to go. I think he saw the car on the inside, tried to go to the outside, and once you do that, Justin, once you commit to a lane, you have to stay there. And unfortunately, he ended up making the contact with the car on the outside, but he should be all right. No broken toe links, just some dents here and there.
Indeed, Wingfield able to jump to second quickly. SB shuffled back to fourth off the restart. So they're all getting regrouped at the moment to be able to restart. Attrition continuing to pop up here. Eventually, people are going to run at a faster pace with the rate things are going.
Yeah, absolutely. At some point, you got to pick it up, but it's hard to pick it up. You can't get in a groove when you have a lot of cautions like this, and no fault to the drivers of their own. There are mistakes here and there, but Martinsville is very tricky, as this is my first race calling it. As I understand, this was a NASCAR Heat 5 league, the biggest NASCAR Heat 5 league, so a lot of these drivers are still making the transition over, and Martinsville is one tricky track that you have to learn quick, and if you don't put down hundreds and hundreds of laps, we're going to see mistakes, but good racing so far when we have green.
Let's try this again. Most of the field choosing the bottom of the racetrack this time. Janik in control. Allen choosing the outside. Wingfield chose the bottom. Green flag is out. Good restart for the 71 again. Wingfield looks to retake second as Wilson watches.
Yeah, Rayshawn's really trying to make the power on the bottom work. Still side by side as they come down the back straightaway going into 3. Rayshawn, Wingfield, and Evan Janik have both worked their way back through the field. These are the 2 to watch tonight, but don't count out that 96 machine or the 93 of Wilson behind them. 5 of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now.
And so far, green-black machines have done really well. Allen able to hold on for now as Thornton, he's getting shuffled a bit, at least trying not to get any more shuffled with SB. Trying to stop the bleeding. Uman to the outside on the fresher tires.
Yeah, Evan's just doing the best job right now of straight line braking, trail braking through the center, and being easy on throttle off. At Martinsville, patience is key around here. The more patient you are, the faster you'll be. I haven't seen him lock up once. And all night, he's been super strong. But that driver behind him, the 96 of Andrew Allen, all 4 of these cars really up front are all doing a really great job straight lining it in, really smooth on the brake, smooth on throttle off. Great job by these guys up front.
McKay now tries to charge his way up now through the field. McKay's been up and down and back and forth with how things have gone so far. Now up inside the top 8. And the invincible machine.
Had a spinner on the front straightaway, almost came back in front of the leaders, keeping it on the low line now. So since he's down low, these lead lap cars are going to have to go by on the outside. And at Martinsville, that can be pretty frustrating. He's actually slowing up the cars coming down the back straightaway as we're looking on board with the 88 machine. But so far, pretty calm. The lap car still in the way coming out of 4, but that's all right. We stay green.
An interesting setup when it comes to the footwork in the dark for the 88. But doesn't matter. It's working for him to be able to move himself to this field. Some of the others that have been bounced around a lot. Stobe making the move now with a 16. A lot of damage on the FSR car.
As we're looking at the 69 machine right now, you can already see the brake rotors on the right front and the left front starting to glow. Even when we have a lot of cautions like this, you use so much braking getting into the corners here at Martinsville that those things will only get hotter and hotter and hotter. Is the 69 machine looking good? Looking at the battle for 11th right now between Show, Moyer, SB, Holton, and Gillen in that 10 machine. But Gillen was the 10 car that was around. That was a little slower. 16 machine sitting there in P14 looking pretty as he goes into turn 3.
They seem to be now calming down a little bit, to say the very least, starting to spread out a little bit, start to become very rhythmistic here. And this was what drivers, I think, were hoping for. We get a long run, establish the tempo, and establish the pace for the field.
As we're looking at the 5 car of Colby Luca, spoke to him earlier, like I said. Come to find out, he actually lives 30 minutes north of me, 17-year-old baseball player looking to get more into sim racing, maybe even racing in real life. Tracks around him would include Monadnock, Claremont Motorsports Park. Bright future for this 17-year-old.
Up and down the order once again as he makes his way through lap traffic here. So far, he's had a couple spins. So far, involved in a couple caution flags in one of his first starts of the season. It's looking solid here once he's able to get the rhythm down. So that's going to be the main thing, too. How will these drivers maintain pace? A lot of potential with the shifting. We mentioned when it comes to keeping the revs up here at this racetrack. Drivers are going to have to manage those tires the more we turn these laps.
Yeah, and I never liked downshifting at Martinsville. It always felt wrong. Once we got into these new cars, it was a big challenge, not only for me, but for a lot of drivers to know, okay, all of a sudden we've run iRacing for 6-7 years. We don't have to downshift at this track, and now all of a sudden we're downshifting 2, maybe even 3 times, depending on the setup and how hard you drive it in. Car around on the front straightaway, never mind, we stay green, but you can see him shifting down to 3rd gear, 4th, sometimes even 5th. And it's so frustrating because when you're on that downshift, if you hit it too much and give it too much revs, or if you don't give it enough, you could wheel hop, end your night pretty quickly with a good smack to the outside wall if you've already used one of your fast repairs.
Yeah, you don't want to end up putting yourself in a spot where once you burn up that one fast repair, you end up having to keep yourself wrapped in bubble wrap the rest of the night. That becomes a major challenge if anything goes wrong. Holston, mind you, this is where things have gone wrong. Speaking of things going south, as being now the last car, I should say, on the lead lap. He's gone from the front to the back on the older rubber.
Yeah, and looking up front at Janik, he's opened up a 1.2 lead over Andrew Allen in that 96, 2.6 seconds over 3rd and Rayshawn Winkfield. So Evan Janik, the driver who'll be racing street stocks in Lancaster Motorsportsplex here in New York later on in the year. Looking good here at the short track, but it's what he does in real life. So he's going to be good at it. 71 looking strong.
Yeah, continuing to pull away from the rest of the field here with the way things are shaping up. Jack just now has to get through the tough thing, traffic. And that's going to be a big thing. It's a hornet's nest of traffic right now around this racetrack.
Yeah, and just be patient, work your way through it. Don't make anybody mad. Don't use the bumper if you don't need to. It's too early. Yes, Andrew Allen has closed in 0.8 of a second in the last 2 laps because of the air in front of you in this lap traffic. But don't worry about it. You have another stage to recoup. You know you're the fastest car on the racetrack. Yes, the 96 is just as fast, but it seems like in terms of consistency, the 71 has it down packed.
Well, that was a big block after all the traffic cost him the gap. Andrew Allen just about went for the send. Janik knew it was coming. Did not want to give up the race lead for anything now. Still have to find a way around Aubrey Lord next to be able to put him 2 laps down. In the midst of the traffic jam, SB leads this pack.
And it seems like just 2 minutes ago we were on lap 55, and now all of a sudden we're at lap 87. This is how quick the laps can tick off here at Martinsville. Huge dive bomb for the 71 to get around the lapped car. The 96 going to get back up to him, almost give him a little bit of a bump. Decides not to, and if he did give him a bump right there, Justin, coming up off the corner, that's the worst spot. That could have spelled trouble as we have a caution out on the racetrack.
Under yellow once again, as I believe we had a spinner around the racetrack. See if we get a chance to sort where it is, as there was a slow car. Front straightaway 69, believe, was slow. Yeah, 69. Andrew Scholl was the wrong way around. Can't confirm on the racetrack.
Yeah, when we were on board with the leaders there, we could see him on the inside not moving. So a lot of the times NASCAR won't throw the caution if you're down on that inside wall. But if you sit there for long enough, sometimes the iRacing gods will grant that caution. So we're taking a look as he goes into turn 3 here. Running the bottom pretty good. Just clips that curb with his left side tires and he goes around for the ride. Adds some more damage to that front splitter, but you can see right here, he's just going to sit here, almost comes back up in front of the leaders, decides not, and him going back and forth like that, going above the line, is what brought out the caution. Normally when you stay up a wall like that, up against the wall like that on the inside, you won't cause a caution, but him just trying to back it up and get it straightened out is what caused it.
It's a quick break. More coverage continues. After this, you're watching Bowling TV, here from the paperclip.
If you really want to improve your driving technique, you cannot just ask someone to tell you when to brake or when to turn. You have to learn how the car wants you to drive it. You have to learn car handling techniques, and that's where I excel at. The Motor Racing Checklist is the work of my life, currently with 2,000 drivers registered, and here's the thing, if you don't improve in 30 days, you get your money back. So give it a try. If you have any questions, just send me a message. I'm always available to answering these questions. This course is made for high-level drivers. If you're a beginner, you're gonna use it for a long time because all these concepts will help you right away, but the more you improve, the more you understand them, and then you're able to squeeze every concept to the limit, and you're gonna gain precision to be able to apply them in a very subtle way that most people don't even notice a difference in your driving. But those are the small things that make you improve a tenth per corner, and then if you just add up those tenths, you realize you're 1 second faster than everyone else. Give it a try. If you have any question, just send me a message.
Welcome back to Martinsville as we come up to the restart. Under 20 laps to go in stage 2 as this race turning laps pretty quickly. If you look at the stopwatch, Evan Janik alongside Rayshawn Wingfield for the restart. Green, green, green. Bit more bumping and painting from the second row as they battle their way to the corner.
Yeah, if I was the 23, I'd be on the radio right now begging those guys behind me, please stop hitting me. If you hit me at such a short track like this, especially when you restart in a low gear, it can jack your speeds up. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're past the leader, above the speed limit, you have a black flag. So good on the 23 for controlling it. But if I was him, I'd be on the radio to the guys behind me in the restart. Hey guys, it's on the leader. I don't care how much of a jump he gets. I don't want to get a black flag.
Couple drivers trying to move ahead in the midst of battles you see on screen right behind Wilson. Caleb Hunt amongst those who's had to pick up a lot of repairs and a lot of fast repair work on his car tonight. And to make the move of the backdrop, that's on Thornton. Josh Thornton dropping his way back to 6th after being up front to end the last stage.
Yeah, looking at the 29 here, still has a little bit of damage on his right front, but he'll be able to survive in tow behind the 78 machine. A little bit of a squirrel coming off of turn 4. Good catch by him. Rayshawn Wingfield in that 23 just a few corners before missed the corner and allowed the 93 of Isaac Wilson to get by. Now we're looking at the 78 machine of Caleb Hunt. Good looking paint scheme, giving homage to Martin Truex Jr. as he comes up off of turn 4.
Doesn't look too happy right now. And if anything, just trying to drive along, make his way around the racetrack two-handed. Wonder what's going through his mind right now with how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, he's locked in. Total concentration. I mean, I have this thing that I do and I'm locked in. I air breathe and my mouth just stays open and I look like I'm the most confused person on earth, but some people just look mad. Some people look incredibly happy. It's all really up, but if you paid attention to his wheel there while we were on board with him, he's cranking that wheel left, and that's what you need to do here at Martinsville to get the car to rotate, but you got to be careful when the wheel's cranked like that, getting on the throttle nice and smooth.
By the way, Isaac Wilson has taken away 3rd spot on the Ancient World Gaming Machine. Only one of those drivers for that team on the entry list tonight. Good drive so far by Wilson. Started this race off in 12th. has been able to maintain speed as long runs start to kick in the top 3.
Yeah, long run's starting to kick in. Janek's got a 0.6 of a second lead over Allen. 1.8 over third place. That's going to be Isaac Wilson. And then Winkfield and Hunt round out your top 5. Looking farther back in the field, that's the 24 of Brett Rinn. Adam Holston and that 8 machine, they're battling it out.
Halfway to the race distance. So we reached that point, but we're at 10 laps to go in the stage as well. 24 has taken a lot of damage in this race, picked up stage points in stage 1. Looking to regroup. Looks like now once stage 3 gets going in terms of the track position game, it's 24.
Yeah, looking good. His braking's looking good. He's not really trail braking like I'd like to see in the center of the corner, but he's still getting good rotation. But he's sitting back here in 10th place. Top 10 for most of these guys would be a super, super happy day at Martinsville, especially for me. I'd be happy with a top 10 at a track like this. Short tracks aren't my style. But a lot of these guys who I talked to early on in the race just want a good, solid finish, try to keep the car clean. But as of right now, there are only a few clean cars left on the track with all the pileups that we've seen so far.
Also that time actually moving the 24 out of the way, lets him on go. Oh, in some trouble front straightaway. That's the 71. 71 having problems from up front. Evan Janik very slow front straightaway. Apparently had contact with the 72 down into 3.
Oh man, and that's a huge hit. You can see the toe link is broken on it again, and that's at least 5 minutes worth of damage that he's gonna have to fix on pit road. Now it depends on how much he broke it. Sometimes when you break a toe link, you don't get the meatball flag, which is essentially iRacing telling you to come down pit road and get it fixed. But if you're that lap down car, you gotta be more careful. I'd rather sit in the middle of the track doing absolutely nothing and maybe have race control throw a caution than come back down across the track like that, especially knowing that the leaders are coming. But big hit for that 71. Toe link is broken. As we see another car around on the front straightaway, that's the 12 machine.
Ward is stuck on the racetrack. Has been able to turn around as he slams into the wall a couple times, just decides to tow it and get it off the circuit. So we are coming up to those final couple laps in the stage here. Andrew Allen right now controlling things as we take a look at some of the air cars here. Now in the top 5, John Ullman. This is not how people wanted the stage to end in some cases here. Here's the look for the battle for the end of the top 5.
Yeah, looking at the battle for the last little bit of stage points that we'll get between Caleb Hunt and John Ullman. Caleb Hunt, he's still up here, started 24th, still sitting in P4. Good drive for him. But unfortunately for that 71 machine, I think his day is done. Ran the fastest lap, led the most laps so far. And unfortunately, he's still sitting behind pit walls. We're looking at a battle for P3 and P2 right now between the 93 and the 23 of Rayshawn Wingfield.
Will there be a send here to pick up an extra point? Final lap in stage 2. Allen has a cushion. Wingfield has a run. Does he take the run to the inside? No. He does use the bumper though. Wilson holds firm. Allen takes the green-white checkered. He does so over Wilson, Wingfield, Hunt, Ullman. Are the 5 drivers who pick up stage points in stage number 2, Brandon.
And the other 5 rounding out the top 10 will be Robert McKay in the 88 Invincible machine, Kobe Luca the 17-year-old, Adam Holston in the 8, Brett Rinn in the 24, and the 16 of Aaron Esby round out your top 10.
It's under caution here, and we should see a pit party. As these drivers look to have about an 85-lap run, give or take, to the checker flag after pit stops. Pit road is open. It's time for some service.
Yeah, and I didn't get to do a lot of research before this race on what 50% fuel would do, but I'm almost confident that they should be good. Usually you can get about 120, 130 laps on a full tank of fuel around here. So at 50% fuel, they might be cutting it a little close, but if we get one caution within the next 20 laps or so, they'll be able to come down and fill it up. But expect 4 tires and fuel from everybody here.
We've already seen Wingfield use strategy once in this race with 2 tires. Don't expect that potentially again from some of these drivers. We'll keep an eye on that. Already 15-second pit stops for Wilson, Ullman for Hunt. 15 seconds for everybody. 4 tires, fuel. Off and away, Allen wins the race off pit road. Lead them to the green flag over Wingfield, Wilson, Schob. Did not pit yet. Ullman, Hunt, almost top 5 as the field resets itself.
Yeah, in a race like this with the 23, the small victories are everything, especially being 1 point below the cut line. He manages to beat the 93 off of pit road, so now he'll be on the outside, able to challenge that 96. And if the 96 gets a big enough restart, he'll be able to just hop in line. So we'll have to keep an eye on that on the restart.
The restart coming up pretty quickly here, mind you, already. Of note, 10th on back, not pitting here in this stretch. Still speed towards the tail as we choose this time. Allen yet again choosing inside, Wingfield choosing inside, Wilson choosing outside. And the insides look powerful in most restarts, Brandon, but if you get a great start for that front row, you can make the outside work, it seems, tonight.
Yeah, it's just super hard with a low gear. I mean, once they hit that loud pedal, they're gone. But I liked what the 23 did here. Last time he almost got pushed to a penalty. He decided to stay on the inside here. So with him being right behind the 96, it guarantees that he won't get a black flag, and he'll be good to go.
Back to the zone to restart. 85 laps to go when the green flag flies. Back and away. Wilson didn't get lined up alongside the 96. Wingfield does hold on the second spot with that move. Oh, and a lot of the yards get all shuffled together. Pollock exits pit road as Luca battles with McKay. McKay misses the bottom, and the 88 loses spots, checking up Holston.
Yeah, Wingfield did the right thing on that restart. The outside line wasn't able to get formed up and just couldn't go, but on the inside, at least he's guaranteed that second spot. Car on the wall, that's the 78 machine of Caleb Hunt. Still green, but like I said earlier, Justin, if you hit that wall too many times, like we've seen before, that toe link will break. And if he's already used his fast repair, he's going to end up like that 71 machine on pit road, still getting it fixed.
He's parked it. In fact, the 71 is trouble. Luca through the gears, hard on the wall. Caution flag is out.
We'll have to take a look at what happened there. The 92, he's probably going to get a penalty for an unsafe pit exit as he crossed the commitment line and came back out on the track. Looking at a replay here.
Just lost it to the gear shift.
Yeah, that's how easy it is coming up off those corners. Unfortunately, it just happens, and I think the 5 has already used his fast repair, so he might be on pit road for a little while. Doesn't look like it's too much damage. It's still going to affect him because it was a massive hit, but like you said earlier, these cars are pretty strong. But he's 17. The kid's going to learn, and sometimes you just the big mistakes to learn. Make sure that you don't repeat them again, but he'll get back out there, and he'll keep trucking.
It'll take some time to be able to get that tow, or rather that repair done. Remember, was amongst drivers some of the cautions earlier on in this race. So they get all squared away. This is at least that caution flag that helps drivers save fuel a little bit to make sure they can get to the end on gas.
Yeah, and the more cautions we have, the easier that will be. So we're looking at the weather conditions right now. 65 degrees, partly cloudy, 11 mile per hour winds out to the west, 78% humidity. Track temp overall is pretty cool. And I'm surprised that we're seeing so many cars spin out, Justin. I mean, the track's pretty cool, the air's pretty cool, but it's just how much power these cars have coming out of 2, especially when you're in a low gear having to upshift.
Yeah, going around through 3 and 4 in terms of gearing the road tonight. 5th gear mainly used to pace laps to save some gas right now as you collection coast. 1 to go and choose this time by Allen up front. EOL for the 92, this caution flag, as it looks like things look similar to the last restart. Most of the field choosing the inside. You have to go all the way back to Shob for the next car to choose the outside behind Wilson.
Yeah, and Shob, who is being shown like 8th or 9th, he's going to be able to line up on the second row up there in 4th. So big break for that 69 machine after a few mistakes here tonight as the pace car is going to drop off and we're going to go back green.
Coming up to the restart zone. Wilson choosing the high side. Green flag, green flag. Wilson didn't get lined up again alongside the 93. Just takes 3rd spot. As Shob on back. Loses ground already. Shob already losing his spot to Hunt.
Yeah, side by side down the back straightaway. They come into 3. The 69 is going to go in line, give a shot to the 78, but we have another caution out on the racetrack.
Back under yellow again. And hearing Brett Wren was involved in this one. He's already claimed responsibility on the radio with a spin with a 47 to Moyer.
Yep, so he'll get the EOL in that situation. But going back to the restart, the 23 car timed it perfectly. It was right on the back bumper. Looking at the replay here of the caution. 24 going into turn 1. Coming up off of turn 2. Oh boy, 47 just gets loose in front of him.
Well, 24 definitely got loose down into the 47. That got him loose for sure. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, my apologies from that angle. It just looked like the 47 got loose for some reason, but you're right, Justin. Got loose, hit the 47. Just created some chaos. Some cars looking like they might come down pit road, but they decide not to. But like I was saying, that 23 car had such a great restart the last time by. Was right on the back bumper, timed it perfectly. Didn't have the best shift going into turn 1, so I think he's starting to time these restarts from the leader a little better, and I think that's why he's starting behind him, because if you can get that good of a restart going into 1, would say 5-10 laps to go, give him a bump and set sail, and the 23 car could find himself locked in, even though he's 1 point below the cut line as of right now.
Reggie Kime, by the way, getting the lucky dogs. 14 cars on the lead lap with how things are shaking up. Reggie Kime, one of the drivers that had good success in MRL's history with the NASCAR Heat side of things. Getting bounced around a little bit here tonight.
Yeah, NASCAR Heat 5 was such a blast when it was out. But a lot of these guys are glad that they made the transition over to iRacing, though. It's just so much more of a realistic feel. It's a lot more challenging for sure, but you'd be surprised. NASCAR Heat 5, they all have setups that they can mess with and adjust over there. And that took a lot of time and effort, but you'll have to put even more time and effort here on iRacing. Even on the fixed setup, it takes a long time to get used to these tracks.
Coming up to another restart. And yet again, same station for the lineup. Top 3 spots the same. Allen, Wilson choosing high side, Wingfield choosing inside. Preferring to start alongside essentially with the 93's numbers with the way Wilson's handling it. Wilson trying to jump at this time. Green flag is out. A little bit better of a start. Holston battles second row from the high side, able to hold on to it to move up to 4th.
Andrew Allen and that 96 leading here at Martinsville with 73 coming to 72 laps to go. He's the first person on the bubble, not below the cut line, but on the bubble, not locked in quite yet. So with his win tonight, he'd lock himself in to the playoffs. Rayshawn Wingfield drops back to 4th, again 1 point below the cut line. He gets a little loose off of 4. Holston, he already has the win, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But Andrew Allen looking for his first win of the year.
Wingfield missed the bottom a couple times over as Thornton. See him right now. He is currently holding on to second pack. Tempers. Aaron Espy having some contact with the 92 on the huge send. That moved him up to the 8th spot. A bit aggressive from the 16.
Yeah, a little aggressive, but we're getting down to it. 70 laps to go. Now's about the time where the aggression is going to pick up. They've been aggressive all day long, but it's going to pick up absolutely. 47 car running the higher line that time. Lap car down on the inside. But again, back up front, the 93 car of Isaac Wilson, another driver who hasn't won this year yet. 16 points Man, I mean, he's down there in 12th in that 93 machine, so a win for any of these guys would do them huge and lock them into the playoffs.
Right now, they are trying to get locked forward. Some of these drivers at the moment. Holston, series points leader coming into tonight. He's had a bit of a rough one in terms of the point scoring. When you look at how the stage is going so far tonight for him, but seems to have found the rhythm after starting this race in 20th.
Yeah, starting the race in 20th up here in P4. Now the 47 car around on the front straightaway, right in the middle of the pack. That's going to bring out a caution.
Back under yellow. Well, this is going to be a tough spot to turn around. At least he does. Despite they hit to the wall. Boyer this time lost it on his own. That time also picking up some contact with Zach White. Let's take a look.
Yeah, picking up the replay here in turn 1 and 2. He went a little wide, missed the corner. Already has damage on his right front. I can imagine that the car is tight. Going down into turn 3 here, misses the corner again. And at that point, when you miss the corner, you're steering the car so much. Tight steering radius, give it too much power coming up off of 4, and you're going to get turned around. Thankfully, nobody hit him. But unfortunately, at the back end, when he spun around, he did smack the wall with his left rear, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well.
Still in third gear at the time of the contact. Immediately put it into first gear. Give him credit for that. He knew he wanted a flex spin at the second there was a gap.
Yeah, I'm just glad that he didn't try to do it when anybody was going around in front of him. That's one of the biggest things in iRacing that can really set some people off, is trying to turn yourself around when you're not clear. A lot of people think that it might be a little selfish. We all understand that, so he did the right thing there, waiting for everybody to go by. Or like we saw the 12 car earlier, just tow the car, bring it back to pit lane. It's not worth ruining anyone else's race. You don't want to have to carry anything into a race going down the line, especially with all the races left that we have.
Wingfield was amongst those who just pit. So some drivers coming down for service to get themselves for sure to go. It looks like on the fuel. Others like to just keep the track position for now.
Well, if the 23 car wasn't good on fuel, he sure is now. Around 115 to 120 laps for a full tank, but they only run 50%. So I think if Rayshawn just bites his time, as we have a car spinning under caution and absolutely destroying the back straightaway wall. Oh boy.
Oh wow. Hard contact, under caution. Let's take a look.
Looks like they're going into turn 1. Going about 45 miles an hour, maybe even slower than that. In the second lane. Checks up, and 12 car gives him a hello.
Alright, some apologies on the radio, as that's going to add more damage to him. 77 is 5 laps down as things run. Coming up to the choose again. Alan Wilson, now Holston scored top 3. See if Holston chooses the bottom. Now it's newfound track position. Wilson this time chooses the bottom. Interesting enough, the top 3 chose the bottom.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. 3 cars chose the bottom, 3 cars chose the top. But at that point, if you're sitting 6th or 7th and you have the opportunity to be on the front row like the 34 of Ullman, I mean, I would have to take it. I mean, he started 15th. Now he's sitting pretty in P2.
Okay, instead for the restart. Alan Wilson wants top 2 at the line. Ullman, the first to choose the high side, have been scored in the 4th position. Green flag is out, green flag is rolling, and the inside line is rolling quickly. Oh, look at this, 3 wide, a squeeze up the track. A bit of contact, Thornton into Ullman. Ullman having some contact as Holston keeps it to the inside for 3rd.
Wingfield already up to 8th, running that inside line. The 29 car having troubles running the bottom of the racetrack, sitting in the middle. The 34 dropped from 2nd, and now he's all the way back there, and he's dropping quick in 5th. But hopefully he can get back up there, as we have another caution out on the racetrack. 60 laps to go.
88 this time going around. Scored in the 8th position last time by. He had been all the way up at the way outside line though. Let's take a look.
Looks like the 9 machine, he might have had help. McDonald's car with Batman versus another superhero of Invincible. I don't think they're getting along in the league of whatever they are tonight. I have no idea, but yeah, he was checking up for the 23. Missed the corner, and then the 9 came in and gave him a little more help. Definitely frustrating as a driver, but it's Martinsville. You're quickly going to learn that you got to get over it, and hopefully none of these incidents carry into next week. I think everybody here understands that it's Martinsville, and unfortunately this track just has a reputation for once the caution comes out, it's just going to breed more cautions, and when frustrations settle in, it's just like Bristol. People are going to keep making contact, and that's just the name of the game.
Puts us back under the yellow flag yet again. Cautions breed cautions here. What's the driver mindset at this point in a race like this?
Well, if I'm one of the drivers up front, I got to make sure that my fuel number is right. If my fuel number wasn't right, I would have pitted by now. So maybe the 23 machine saw something, maybe on an external software that he saw, which was perfectly legal in iRacing for all the viewers watching back home. But in the mindset of the driver, if I'm the guy up front, Andrew Allen, in that 96 machine, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Execute those restarts. Don't miss a shift. Don't accidentally downshift. Clean in, clean out, easy on the throttle. He's clearly the fastest car right now when he has that clean air, so he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. If I'm one of these cars farther back in the pack, I'm just looking for a break from all the chaos, JP. I mean, we have cars banging into each other, cars missing the corner. So if I'm up front, I'm happy. If I'm anything but first place, I got to question when is my break and when can I get up there and challenge for the lead.
Looks like getting ready for the choose again. Allen, Wilson, Holston. It looks like a bit of a different choose there from Josh Thornton. He chose to go all the way to the front row again, and we know how well that worked earlier for the 29.
And Rayshawn Wingfield, who's back there in P7, P8, he has an opportunity to jump to the outside in 4th, so we'll have to see what he can do. So the pace car is going to drop off here. Down pit road at the paperclip. We're going to be going back green with 56 laps to go.
Once again, restarting. Green, green, green. Thornton times it up perfect. He keeps it alongside Allen. Owen Wilson leans on him a little bit. That pushes the 29 out of the gear as Omen spins it out on the back straightaway for another incident. Now a wreck for a caution.
I'm surprised that wasn't bigger than it was. Just a little bit of an overcorrection coming down the back straightaway. Spun it in front of the field, but I believe only 1 or 2 cars got involved.
Let's take a look once again at the 34. And it adds to the yard sale down the back straightaway.
Yeah, coming up off of 2. Again, that tight steering radius just gets loose. Oh, big hit for the 88. He might be done. I think he already used his fast repair. The 69 car also involved. Big hit for him. And oddly enough, I think the 34 car came out of it better than everybody else. I mean, he got hit a ton. And those 2 cars that hit him look like they have more damage, at least from my standpoint, than the man who got hit.
We'll take a break. Coming up to 50 laps to go. You're watching Ballin TV for coverage of the MRL.
If you really want to improve your driving technique, you cannot just ask someone to tell you when to brake or when to turn. You have to learn how the car wants you to drive it. You have to learn car handling techniques, and that's where I excel at. The Motor Racing Checklist is the work of my life, currently with 2,000 drivers registered, and here's the thing. If you don't improve in 30 days, you get your money back. So give it a try. If you have any questions, just send me a message. I'm always available to answering these questions. This course is made for high-level drivers. If you're a beginner, you're gonna use it for a long time, because all these concepts will help you right away, but the more you improve, the more you understand them, and then you're able to squeeze every concept to the limit, and you're gonna gain precision to be able to apply them in a very subtle way that most people don't even notice a difference in your driving. But those are the small things that make you improve a tenth per corner, and then if you just add up those tenths, you realize you're 1 second faster than everyone else. Give it a try. If you have any question, just send me a message.
Welcome back to the paperclip as we get set for another restart. It's Allen, it's Thornton on the front row once again, followed by Wilson, and then Wingfield from 6th spot jumped up to 4th for the restart. Back underway, not as good of a run from the outside as Wilson moves his way quickly to 2nd. Thornton does slam the door for 3rd.
Side by side down the back straightaway, the 23 and the 8. Beating doors down the back straightaway. 93 machine, now that he's got a little bit of clean air, he wants to try to get back up and battle for the lead as we have another car spinning off of turn 4, hard to the inside wall. No caution just yet. They stay clean as the 8 car beating on the door of the 23 coming up off of 2.
McKay parked it. We keep rolling and keep racing as the leader checks out. Already seen a lot of wiggles though for some of the drivers up front. And a lot of battling for the drivers in the mid-pack.
Already a second out for the leader of Andrew Allen. Looking at the 34 here, he's trying to get around the 69 machine. Looks like he's doing okay. Got as much damage fixed as he could after getting absolutely pummeled under that last caution after spinning off of turn 2.
Yeah, some of these drivers have had some rough races today. Pollock still maintaining the lead lap despite destroying both the front fenders at the moment. Trying to find his way back to the top 10, reaching out for the lap traffic at the moment. As there goes the 27. Another spinner, no caution, able to hold on to it.
Yeah, way to keep it straight coming off of turn 4. Self-spun, kept the gas in it. Got the nose pointed the right way. We stay under green, but our leader still pulling away 1.2 as we're looking at the 23 machine all over the back bumper of that 29 machine. We're going to be coming to 44 laps to go once we come down the front straightaway here at Martinsville. Wingfield on that different strategy, Justin. He came down pit road. Are these front 3 good on fuel? Are they banking on another caution? And if we don't have another caution, will the 23 win this race?
That's going to be a big question. Can Wingfield find his way ahead? He's all with the bumper of Thornton. Here there's an air spinner on the back straightaway, currently staying green for the time being. Now the yellow flag is out. It's going to be Joshua Gillen, who is in the middle of the track. And he was running in 7th.
See if he can get it safely turned around here if he decides to tow. He's going to put it in reverse. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the replay and see what happened. The 10 car unfortunately involved again. Looking at the replay here down the back straightaway, just losing it on his own. I'm assuming he got loose off of 2, tried to save it, similar to what we saw with the 34, and oddly enough, the 34 gets involved again, running into the front end of the 10 machine. 69 car involved as well. Still on board, missed the corner just a little bit. Taking a look at the throttle input. Looks like he's just limping it around the track, trying to do everything he can. Maybe the car was broke already, but then bam, right there, 34 and the 69. 24 got a little piece of it as well, but I think everybody will keep it straight and be all right.
Some more hard contact for that car. See him having to humble his way to pit road. Aubrey Laurels picking up black flag during this caution sequence. Still 41 laps to go. Your lucky dog, yet again, Reggie Kime. This caution flag. And as expected, we were starting to run low on attrition when it comes to the faster players being burned out here. It's now all about survival with the way things are shaping up.
Yeah, and to me, with these front three cars not pitting, it shows me that they're good on fuel. Maybe I underestimated how much fuel they have in the tank, but so far, nothing. No one's come down pit road, but I'm super impressed with the 23. Pit a few cautions ago all the way back up to 4th, but I'm really impressed with our leader, that 96 machine. If he gets a clean restart, he can check out within a second, 3 or 4 laps, and he's out of there. So Isaac Wilson and them, they're really going to have to try to time the restart to see if they can be side by side going into turn 1, which we haven't seen yet.
Indeed. So right now, coming up to 1 and choose. As you see the use of fast repairs so far tonight, that's a lot of them utilized by your front runners. Allen yet to use one, Pollock yet to use one, Moyer and SB, that's about it.
Yeah, so if we have an instance where somebody in the front gets into one another, there's a lot of cars that have used their fast repairs, and then the 92 could find himself back up front all of a sudden if something catastrophic happens. But hopefully we can keep it clean and green, get some good green flag racing here to the end, and see who can pick it up, who can get this race win. Can it be the 29, the 96? Can they get their first wins of the season?
Here we go again. 38 to go at the stripe. So far, Allen controlling stage 3 without the bad luck. Hit the 71 earlier. He's had the speed since. Green, green, green. Back underway. Side by side for the second spot as Thornton not going away. But Wilson has the preferred line. Thornton lets him go.
Yeah, 23 in tow behind them, all over the rear bumper of that 29 on the entry to 3. Gave him a little bit of a bump, but not too much. The 29 risking a little bit. He's going to miss the corner. The 23 is going to peek his nose, hit him in the left rear quarter panel once, twice, 3 times coming down the back straightaway. The 23's there on the 29 going into turn 3.
Now Thornton getting uprooted and spun. Turned around by the 8 of Holston. And now he's stuck in the middle of the racetrack. No caution. We stay green.
Yeah, that hurts for the 29 machine. No caution. We stay green. Wingfield finds himself up to P3. Holston up to P4. Hunt rounds out the top 5. But it is all about the leader with 35 laps to go. Andrew Allen, 0.8 of a second over second place. As we're looking back between the 93 of Pollock and the 34 machine of John Coleman as they battle it out for position.
Yeah, Pollock wants some spots here. He has been pushing hard to get himself to this pack. Not able to get all inside the 34 quite yet, if anything. Take a few laps, and that's going to be the tough thing now. This is a racetrack where it takes several laps to set up a pass. We're running out of laps to set up clean passes.
Yeah, this is where the bumper is going to start coming out. It's so frustrating. We might even see it here with the 23 and the 93. The 23's got good entry, good rotation through the center. 93 really all over that bottom. Kills the run for the 23 on exit. And just like you were saying, Justin, it's going to take a few laps. So that 23, either he's going to be patient and wait for a mistake, or he's going to realize, all right, he's not going to make a mistake. I'm going to force him to make one.
Aubrey Lord crashes down into turn 1 and collects the front runners. Caution flag is out. Lord collecting the 93 of Wilson.
Let's take a look here. Looking at the 72 machine as he goes down into turn 1. Running the bottom. Nothing too significant just yet. Coming down the back straightaway. Looks clean all around so far. Going into turn 3. You can see the flames coming out. Lifting and a downshift. Loose off of 4. Bang! Hits the inside wall. And this is where it's going to get interesting. Rides the brake. Backs it into the inside wall. Oh man. That's got to be tough. Trying to get... When you spin out, your tires are hot like that. Tire wear is already low. I'd be frustrated if I were that 93 machine. You don't got to get the power down, just get it rolling, get out of the way. So that's probably going to end the night for that 72 machine.
He has already parked it. And a lot of happy drivers over the radio right now, coming to 30 laps to go. Wingfield, significant damage. And obviously Isaac Wilson already having A lot of hits there in the 93. And we've already seen how to use the faster pair, so that's taking drivers out of the conversation here. Winkfield will have to keep an eye now that he's in second if he's got the speed here, as they have already taken the 1 to green. No, they've now re-added the pace laps because no one got a true chance to choose.
And obviously I will say, I'm not allowed to have an opinion necessarily as a commentator on what happens, but I can say I understand where these drivers are coming from. It is incredibly frustrating knowing that, you know, even if he just sat there on the inside wall, parked it, or maybe even towed, you know, the drivers do have these tools, whether it be external software like I was mentioning earlier, or a relative. They know when the leader's coming. And when you see stuff like that, it can be incredibly frustrating for them, so I completely feel where they're coming from as we come to choose.
Inside line for the first 4. The first one to choose the outside was the FSR driver of Shobe, it looks like. A lot of people preferring to run towards the curbing, though. Our drivers that chose the top, Thornton regrouping to be able to try and get back up there. Wilson will also restart up top side.
Yeah, the inside just seems like the safest place to be. A lot of drivers washing up. A lot of mistakes. If I were that 69, I'd be on the lookout.
Up to the restart. Green flag is out. Back on our way is some bumping and banging for the outside line. The inside line gets itself sorted out quickly for the top 3.
That's the closest the 23 has been on the restart. Right on the back bumper of the 29, or the 96 now of Andrew Allen. Can the 23 car get up there and make a pass for the lead? 26 laps to go here from the paperclip as the leaders go down into turn 1.
This is after the contact earlier on the last caution flag. Winkfield showing speed, while Shobe gets himself back to where he was originally, now in line with Pollock as well. Oh, and a bunch of drivers heading the outside line backdrop there. We stay green as we see the battle on screen.
I think with the faster pairs gone, we got a lot of guys with bent, damaged toe links, maybe not fully broken, because if that thing was fully disconnected, iRacing would be telling you to come down pit road. But with those broken or bent toe links, I mean, it's just going to create lockup. You're going to completely miss the corner. The car will not turn at all. So a lot of mistakes from these drivers just trying to limp it to the end. But the 23 machine looks like he's got a run going into turn 3. Can he get there? And when he does get there, will he use the bumper?
Can he pressurize a mistake? That's the question. Still down to 23 laps to go. Good center speed. Allen starting to push a little bit up the racetrack. That may open the door if he pushes too much in the Chevy Guy car.
Yeah, and as the 96, if I'm the 23, I sit behind him. I wait. We're faster than everybody else on the racetrack right now. We just sit here and wait. Because as the 23 car, with that race car driver mentality, you got to know that that car in front of you is looking in the rear view. And every second that he's looking in the rear view is a second that he's not looking out front. And that's how mistakes are made when you watch the mirror too much.
Yeah, right now, just trying to play the lines right. They are going to reach traffic pretty soon. Caleb Hunt, the first lap car in the next few laps or so. They'll have to deal with Winkfield. Good corner exit. Does he send it this time? No, he does not. Although he is trying a diamond line to set something up.
Yeah, the diamond line, he's done it a few times now. He's getting a really good run off the corner. Now, if he can't get to him before the lap traffic, if I was that 23, I'd be on the lookout. Will the 96 use the lap car as a pick? Here at Martinsville, laps tick by very, very quickly. As you can already see, 20 laps to go here tonight. You just got to make sure that you're thinking multiple laps ahead if you're this 23 car.
Has to work like a chess piece right now. Plan it out right, and this time had a bobble. Wiggles like that are going to cost him. That will take a few laps to regroup, but all the time he's picked up. Had to be picked back up quickly.
And it looks like he did it going into turn 1 and 2 with a run down the back straightaway. Oh, and the leader's going to go high, look high, trying to get around the lap car, make contact with the 78-23 all over the rear bumper of the 96 of Andrew Allen. clean move by the 23 to just not take him out. Side by side with the lapped car. Looks like the lapped cars are going to let them go. Odd spot for the 23 to catch them, though. 0.3 of a second. That's going to take him a lap or two to recuperate, but he'll be able to get back up there. Can he force the 96 to make a mistake?
That's the big thing. The traffic nearly forced a mistake right then and there. Was 16 to go. Anything like that's going to get magnified. More lap traffic. Gillen opens the door, maybe. No, that's going to hurt Wingfield more than anything. Wingfield couldn't get down.
And it looks like Wingfield right now, he'll see the 96 car bobble a little bit, and then he'll make a mistake. So the front car will make a mistake, the 23 will make a mistake, and he isn't able to capitalize on it. It's just a cat and mouse game of who can drive the best line, who can be the most consistent, coming to 14 laps to go.
Take a look at some of the others on track right now. Reggie Kime has reeled in David Moyer. This is a battle for the 9th position. These drivers looking to scrap it out to be able to finish up strong. This seen the 47 miss the bottom. Here comes Kime to the inside, side by side for 9th and the caution.
Battle starting to heat up between the 9 and the 47. We'll have to take a look at the replay here to figure out what the caution was for.
You're currently searching to figure out where the caution may have fallen here. As we're under yellow. Did have maybe a slow 27 car. Let's see if that's it. Yeah, not quite sure there.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it says one of the admins threw a caution, so I don't know if it was an accidental hotkey press or what. Yeah, Justin, that's weird. Our producer's not seeing anything. We're not seeing anything. I don't know if that was an accidental hotkey press, but that's got to be very frustrating for some of these drivers when you build a gap like that and accidents like that happen. Now all of a sudden the whole field's stacked up, and that allows anyone who lines up behind you to dive bomb, or even if you're Wingfield in that, I know he's probably going to pick the inside line, so if someone behind him takes him 3 wide going into turn 1, all I know is that could be pretty costly to some of these drivers up front.
Got a confirmation what the caution was. The 77 Zach White, who is 7 laps down now in the race, spun out and had parked it on the front straightaway at the start and finish line on his 181st coming to 182nd lap. And that's why the caution flag came out. He was right behind the admin that had the caution for the flag. So that's the reason we're regrouping here. Older tires for Alan Wingfield on 2 tires from when he pit 56 laps ago. He's going to have a chance with under 10 laps to go, coming to 1 to go for the restart.
Thank you for pointing that out, Justin. I have an eagle's eye view of the track, and even I couldn't see what happened for that caution to come out. So I'd rather it be a natural cause than an accident. So throw everything that I just said out the window. Coming to the choose. 96 going to take the inside. Wingfield's also going to take the inside. So with 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go when we come to the strike, the pay window is open. The chrome horn has been polished off. Who is going to win this race?
That's going to be a huge question mark at this point. Let's find out. Alan Thornton wants the front row. Wingfield choosing the inside of row 2. Schob up there as well. Green, green, green. Back underway, and a great start for Allen. Wingfield already retaking second quickly.
Yeah, Wingfield gave a huge shot to the 96 car in the restart zone, and I think that told the 96 to go, but the 23 all over the back bumper, sends him going into turn 3, gets him on the curbs. New leader 23, but they're wrecking behind him coming out of 4.
Allen is still wrecking out of the corner. Caution flag not out yet. Now it is that the 96 crashes.
Oh man, what a send by the 23 going into turn 3. think he gave him a little bit too much of a hit. Got the 96 upset. You'll see it right here on the replay. Coming back green, the 23 gets a great restart. Gives the 96 a bump. That tells the 96 it's time to go. Leaves the outside line in the absolute dust. The 23 best restart he's potentially had all night. Coming off of turn 2, coming down the back straightaway. Huge run. Gets locked onto his bumper, shifts up, sends him, gets to that quarter panel, gets him a little upset over the curbs, and then from there, the rest is history.
Holston picked up some contact. The 96 spun down as he tried to counter it back up. Wingfield now leads. And boy, oh boy. This is now going to get interesting. We have extended the caution. They are looking at the replay and race control at the moment. It is being reviewed.
Yeah, and if you're the 23, you're just hoping that they see it as an accident. We know that we gave him a bump going into turn 3, but after that, I don't know. I really don't know. It is Martinsville Racing. You know, sometimes the car will get a little wiggly and you'll just wash up the track, but I've never seen a car go down towards the curbs like that, so we'll have to see what race control says.
Now, telling the lap vehicles to drop to the rear. Still 13 cars on the lead lap here. Trying to sort things out here. Again, it's Wingfield, Thornton, Holston, Shobe, Oman, the top 5, Pollock, Espy, Wren. Then it's Wilson and Moyer. I want your top 10 for the restart. Race control has cleared it. Replay is good per race control. As the 23 will get to control things, looking like we may be setting up a green-white checkered finish.
2 clean laps is all Rayshawn Wingfield and that 23 Toyota Camry, sponsored by Mobile One needs. Came into this race 1 point below the cut line, and with this win, he could lock himself in, jump a whole bunch of cars, take it easy the rest of the year, get aggressive, race for more wins. But a win here tonight for Rayshawn would be huge.
He's shown speed at the racetracks throughout the season so far. It looks to become the 6th different winner in 6 races. If he's able to hold on for another couple of laps, about a mile or so. Gonna get the green-white checker trigger this time by.
And if I'm these guys down in 18th, 19th, and 20th, Zachary King, Jared Gopsnyder, even the guys like Caleb Hunt, Joshua Gillen, Aaron Espy, 6 different winners in 6 different races. That really starts to open up Pandora's box in terms of, all right, well, next week will we have another one? Will we have another one? And then it goes from 11 open spots to 10 to 9. And with all the different leaders that we've seen or people that have come and go throughout the race, it wouldn't surprise me with all the different track types and everyone still learning coming over from Heat 5. I would not be surprised if those numbers just continue to grow.
Going up to the restart zone to set things up for the choose. Wingfield does choose the bottom. Thornton chooses the bottom for this restart. We do have unlimited attempts on this series, so we'll see how things go for the GWC. Shobe choosing the outside, trying to go big or go home. Big opportunities here for the battle for the race win. Wingfield looks to close it out now up front. Shobe trying to time it up for the outside. Wingfield slows them on down about 40 miles an hour. Oh, a jump ahead by the 69. Wingfield still gets a better start and a crash. Thornton crashes. Shobe lost it for the outside and the yellow flag waves.
And now all of a sudden the 92 car of Alex Pollock, who had all that trouble early on, he's sitting up there in P3 after that wreck. What absolute carnage going into turn 1.
Let's take a look and watch the 69. Tries to jump it and then it gets ugly.
Yeah, the 34 gives him a big bump. I think the 69 missed a shift. And after that, just calamity. And when you hit that inside wall, sometimes iRacing has these funky physics where if you hit that wall, you'll rubber band back out onto the track. But then again, in real life, we've seen cars do that here at Martinsville. So just big wreck, nowhere to go. Devastation throughout the front few rows.
Yeah, and disappointment for some of those drivers now. There's a look at Uman on the hit. Gets himself collected in the incident again. 3 cars collected into the corner. Thornton getting some of the worst luck out of it to drop down to 11th in scoring loops. But now, look who's in second. Adam Holston with a shot to try and go for the win.
Yeah, and Wingfield got lucky on that last restart there. He went a little late in the zone. He had a car behind him. He missed the corner. He was up a lane and a half farther than he should have been. But with that wreck that happened behind him, he got very, very lucky. So as a driver, you got to take those notes, check your braking points, and think, okay, I missed the corner on the restart last time. If it wasn't for that wreck, there could have been a car to my inside, a car in my rear bumper. I could have been spun around, could have been hit. I could have lost the lead off of 2. So you really, really, really got to check in on that. And look at the heart rate. 140 beats per minute. 92 of Alex Pollock. My lord, he is ready.
It's been an intense race for him. And now he looks to try and sneak out a podium here after what has been such a topsy-turvy night in terms of performance. He chooses the outside for this restart. And guess what? He's got fresher tires. He pit 15 laps ago, and he took the faster pair.
Yeah, the 8 car looked like he was going to take the outside, and you actually saw a little bit of a grin on the 92's face. I don't know if it was out of joy or, oh no, I'm going to be on the outside lane, but he's up there in contention for a win. Pace car's down pit road.
Wingfield will try this again. About a mile to go. If they can get to the white, it's a race to the checkered. Green flag is out. A great restart from the 23. Pollock trying to hold on to second for the outside. Goes way up the racetrack. Here goes Holston.
Here comes the 23 down the back straightaway into turn 3 for potentially the second to last time. Coming off of turn 4. White flag is out for the 23 machine of Rayshawn Wingfield here at Martinsville.
More sliding coming around to the white flag this time by. It is 4 wide as Shome gets turned around. Allen crashes. Moyer crashes. All through 3 and 4. The leaders battle it out. It's going to be Rayshawn Wingfield who takes the checker flag to win the paperclip. Holston holds off Pollock for the top 3.
Did exactly what he needed to do. He went back and thought, I missed the corner on that last restart. Jumped in the zone a little early, got a big lead. 1 and 2 clean, everything else clean after that. Good job to Rayshawn and that 23 machine. He now goes from 17th, 1 point below the cut line, to locked in for the playoffs later on in the year.
Again, the results unofficial, but that was a wild final stretch of this race. Wingfield is still going full throttle and now can celebrate.
What a win from this 23 team. Like I've been saying all night, oh, and he's just going to smash the wall. That's how pumped up he is. It don't matter, Rayshawn. Burn it down on the front straightaway, break the car, rip the tires off the thing. First win in the series this year for him. What a race. Way to clutch up there at the end, too. Had to come back through the field, was on an off strategy, was able to hold off the clean tires behind him. He'll get his first win of the year.
And get a chance to celebrate. Once again, Rayshawn Wingfield coming away with the race win. We'll take a step aside in just a moment. We come back, post-race coverage here on Ballin TV as the 23 picks up the win over cars 8 and 92 here for the paperclip.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Mystic Racing League from Martinsville, where in the end, 24 drivers started off the action. Only one can come away with the victory unofficially, going the way of Rayshawn Wingfield tonight over Adam Holston and Alex Pollock. Those drivers standing on by for post-race coverage. Aaron Espy comes away in fourth with Caleb Hunt the top five. Then it's Thornton. Allen recovers to seventh after what happened when he was leading. Brett Wren, Isaac Wilson, and John Ullman, the top 10.
Yeah, then you got Reggie Kime, started 22nd. Up to P11, made up 11 spots. Not a bad night for him. Finishing P12, Andrew Shobe. 13, David Moyer. 14 seconds behind the leader. Christian Barnes and Joshua Gillen round out your top 15. Rounding out your top 20 will be Kobe Luca, Brandon Willard, 8 laps down. Zach White, 9 laps down. Aubrey Lord, who disconnected a little while ago, 46 laps down, and rounding out your top 20, Robert McKay in that 88 machine.
21st going the way of Evan Janik after looking like a dominant car earlier on. Had several incidents with lap traffic. David Wallace in 22nd. Jacob Cochran parked it early after leading things off. Isaac Brock was the first DNF of the night. He finished in 24th. Our top three is standing on by. Let's take the time to get things all lined up. First things first, your race winner tonight, Rayshawn Wingfield. Coming away with the W, now joins the broadcast booth. Rayshawn, how are you feeling about getting the win? You're the 6th different winner in 6 races.
I feel amazing. I don't know about y'all. That was a horrible race. I feel amazing.
So talk us through the battle for the race win where it came to contact.
It's Martinsville. I gave him a bump. He got loose, hit the little curb, and he spun. It's not on me. I don't know if I gave him a bump. He got loose, but that's what you get at Martinsville. I was dumped about 4 times this race. I didn't complain once. I just kept going, I guess, but I don't know.
Well, how was it trying to balance out the speed at a track like this tonight as well? Because it seemed like it was a challenge for some, and for you, you were one of the fastest cars, no matter what it seemed, on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, like, when we had green flag runs, I was just managing my runs, just trying to keep it clean. But then somebody would wreck, and then we get a restart, and I'd get ran over. I had to come from the back, and it just got annoying. So I just started driving like everybody else started driving. I was trying to keep it clean. I had a 10X with like 20 to go, and then it's how it is. But yeah, the car was fast, but it was a good race all in all for me.
Any shout out you'd like to give here tonight?
Shout out. You said any shout outs?
Yes, correct.
Shout out to my spotter, Colin Bollinger. It's my guy. Helped me with all the wrecks, helped me avoid all of them, and helped me with my start and stuff like that. And shout out to my boy LeBron James. It's my hero. It's my king, King James. I love LeBron. And yeah.
Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you so much, man.
Rayshawn Wingfield coming away with the win tonight. Adam Holston, good points night. Finished in 2nd. He's with Brandon.
Hey, Adam, it's Brandon Edstrom in the Ballin' TV booth. What a P2 for you tonight. I see you're supporting the Sassy the Sasquatch profile picture in Discord. Gotta say, love that. Talk me through the P2 finish. Started P20. all the way up to the front row. Talk me through it.
Well, we had a lot of struggles in practice and qualifying, and started in the back. But as the race went, I figured out a couple things and different lines to run, and got in my groove. But really, a lot of the cars wrecking. A lot of fast cars got wrecked out, and ultimately that put me up to the front. And I'm very happy with second place.
Yeah, and talk me through that, trying to avoid all the wrecks tonight, only one fast repair here at Martinsville. I mean, how did you manage to go all the way from 20th up to P2, looking like you were almost able to win the race there at the end, but avoid all that chaos and bring it home with a somewhat clean car, one of the cleaner ones out on the racetrack?
It wasn't easy. I definitely got caught up in a couple things, had to use up my fast repair. And through that third stage, I was basically just worried to get wrecked. And I managed to get the field position, and I didn't look back since then. I wasn't going to do anything to give up that field position there.
Absolutely. Adam, before we let you go, one last question. Who do you got to thank who helps you get it done?
Well, I got to thank my team at 5-Star Racing and 9222 Paints for the schemes he makes. And I got to thank my sponsors, Holston Concrete and Workboat Life.
Well, Adam, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully we get to see a big Les Show paint scheme here soon in the future. Have a good rest of your night. Congratulations on the P2. We'll send it back to Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Adam Holston coming away in second spot here tonight. Third spot went the way of Alex Pollock. And Alex, heart rate was up towards the end of that race. Now it's a little bit more calmed down. You had a lot of scratching and clawing to this field tonight.
Yeah, it was a crazy race all around. Lots of cautions. I was a lap down for probably half the race after getting spun early. Battled back, and I'm happy with a top three.
How was it trying to scratch and claw your way to be able to get to that point, though, especially since you had a very damaged car, but also had the freshest tires in the field for the very end of the race?
Yeah, I was excited about the fresh tires, but the leader there just got a good jump on the final restart, and I just couldn't catch him. So it sucks, but I'm still happy with a P3.
Next race is going to go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Your thoughts on Vegas?
I'm looking forward to it. 1.5 miles are usually my better tracks, so I'm looking forward to getting there and out of the short tracks and road courses and all that fun jazz.
Any shout outs you'd like to give here tonight?
Yep, shout out to the 5-Star Racing team. We got 2 podiums again tonight. We had 2 last night. Before Evan was taken out, he was in first and the best car on the track, so we probably would have had top 3 maybe if he was still in. So shout out to them. Shout out to 9222 Designs, my design team. If you need designs for your cars, I think half the field's running my designs right now. So if you need them, hit me up. Good job to the winner for wrecking the fastest car on the track to get the lead. Other than that, we'll go to Las Vegas next week.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for streaming and doing that for us.
Alex Polk rounding out the top 3 here tonight as heart rate seemed to kick up at the very end for the questions there. But Brandon, as just talked about, next race is Vegas, where we get ready to see how drivers fare in Sim City.
Yeah, we have a lot to look forward to in Vegas. Multi-lane groove. The bottom will probably be preferred, but later on in the race, you can make those adjustments to run the top. The front straightaway will be nice and wide. And man, Las Vegas always puts on a race no matter what series it's in. And I believe all 3 of them go there next week. So everybody tune in to watch those. Should be an absolute blast, Justin.
It'll be a fun time. Once again, March the 14th. Coverage starts at 8:15 Eastern. Catch that here on Ballin TV. But it's time to say goodbye from the Paperclip. For my colleague tonight and Brandon Edstrom, for our producer and DJ Line, it's time to say goodbye. I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching the MRL from the Paperclip.